What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City daily transfer update. I am rolling out daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout the whole January transfer window for you guys to stay up to date with here on YouTube with all the latest Manchester City transfer news. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. We are now less than 450 subscribers away from my aim of 34,000 subscribers, and I will be resuming this series again from June to keep you guys up to date throughout the summer transfer window in what is going to be a big and busy summer when it comes to transfers with Man City. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim, and do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So we're going to start off this video by speaking about the outs. We've got just one story to speak about. It's the weekend. It does go quite quiet at the weekend, but we do have enough for me to speak about for a video here because we've had a very big update on Yan Couto. Now, the Daily Star have said that Manchester City, we already know that they want to offer Yan Couto a new contract. The first impressions on this was because it's a link with Real Madrid for Yan Couto. So Yan Couto is seen as a player of interest for Real Madrid in the summer. With Yan Couto only having 1 year left on his deal in the summer, Manchester City want to get him onto a new deal so that his new deal would reflect a market value for Yan Couto for him to be potentially sold by Manchester City. They were the first impressions that we were getting from Yan Couto. Now, it has been reported in the last 24 hours by the Daily Star. They say that there is space in the Manchester City squad for Yan Couto. Manchester City have been impressed with his performances out on loan with Girona so far this season, to a point that Manchester City want Yan Couto as part of their first team squad next season. They're a bit iffy on the details as to whether Man City want to give him pre-season and assess from there, or whether Manchester City literally do see him as part of the first team squad and a reward for his fine form with Girona is to bring him into the first team squad to provide competitive competition with Kyle Walker, with any other player that's going to compete on that right-hand side for Manchester City. Let's not forget Yan Couto can cover at right wing-back for Manchester City as well, and that right-hand side, either in defence or further afield offensively onto the right wing, may be something that Manchester City choose to address in the summer. We don't know what's happening with Bernardo Silva. Kyle Walker's getting no younger, so having right-sided players could be very useful, whether that be defence or offence. And I think that someone like Yan Couto, to me, considering he is already a Manchester City player and he is doing very well with Girona in La Liga, would be worth letting him have at least a season around the first team squad to see how he reacts and how he's training with the other Manchester City first team players, because he'll be going around world-class players and competing for positions with other world-class players as well. So hopefully that will be able to bring out the very best in Yan Couto. But also it would help Manchester City fill a void here. We know that Manchester City are looking at central midfielders, are looking at defensive midfielders, are probably thinking Calvin Phillips may no longer be a Manchester City player once the summer does come. Potentially his loan ends up going well for him at West Ham. He ends up leaving Manchester City. Then all of a sudden midfield will be an area of focus for Manchester City. And if Man City just want to alternate other players into other positions, so what happens with Bernardo Silva? Do they want to move Jack Grealish centrally? Are they permanently going to have Phil Foden going through the middle, for example? Then all of a sudden Man City are looking a little bit sparse in other areas, whether that be out wide or whether that be through the middle. So already we're covering 2, perhaps even 3 positions when we haven't got a solid left back at the club, and yet Kyle Walker's getting no younger, and if he has a dip in form or he loses his pace or he picks up an injury, we look very short on that right hand side as well. Man City's squad is very thin, and so if you've got quality players already out on loan, I see it doesn't hurt Manchester City as far as I am concerned to bring these players back, to allow them the opportunity, certainly during pre-season. I'd be giving maybe 2 or 3 of the players out on loan their opportunity that when they come back to Manchester City in the summer to stay with the team for the season, get them all onto new deals, get them in for a season, see how they do, and assess again from there. You're never going to know if these players are good enough unless they're being given their opportunity. We have accumulated a lot of money from players being sold from the academy. It would be good now to get 2 or 3 of these top players players that we've still got hold of that are out on loan, have them come back to the first team squad and have them provide competitive competition. Our squad then goes from 18, 19 players into the 20s, and it could be very useful for Manchester City, because you pick up 2, 3, 4 injuries, all of a sudden you can't name a bench, a full bench, or Manchester City are having to go and have a look at some of the players who are 16, 17, 18 years old to call up to their first team squad, when you've already got players with 2 or 3 years of first team football at other clubs on loan, experience under their belt, that are ready to do something for Manchester City. Players like Yan Couto, players like James McAtee. These are players that I don't just want to see us giving them pre-season. I want us to give them a whole season with the City squad so they can showcase what they can do, because that could save Manchester City a lot of money. It gives us a little bit of room to manoeuvre when it comes to potential player exits out of the club in the summer, i.e. maybe Bernardo Silva with his release clause of €50 million, and we're not under as much pressure as what we could be if we decide to, for example, put Yan Couto onto a new deal and then sell him to Real Madrid. Man City obviously chosen not to have Claudio Echeverri as part of their first team squad. What do they want to do with Maximo Perrone? So there's big questions for the short term rather than thinking about the long term. Man City are always thinking so much about the long term, and it's fantastic, but the squad is as thin as it can go as far as I'm concerned, and so to help ease congestion on that stretched thin squad from next season, because things aren't going to get addressed obviously this late into the January transfer window, it's going to happen in the summer window, then if you've got 2 or 3 good players out on loan who've impressed, give them the reward, a new contract, and say you've got a season here with Manchester City, because you put on a 5-year deal, they're still going to have 4 years left, you're still going to make a great amount of profit, plus you're giving them their opportunity to showcase what can they do for Manchester City. So Yan Couto, James McAtee, these are players I want to see around the City first team squad next season. I want them to see them on new deals. I want to see what they can do. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's cost us very little amount of money to find out that answer. We're still able to make profits on these players. And if you're good enough, you are good enough. And Girona are having a brilliant season. If you're good enough playing at the top end of La Liga, game after game, then you are good enough for me to come in and be at least a squad player for Manchester City. And the same can be said for James McAtee. We had questions over him at the beginning of the season. Is he of Premier League quality? Well, he's going to have a season of Premier League football under his belt. He doesn't look out of his comfort zone at Sheffield United. He's having a good season as far as I'm concerned. He is our player. Yan Couto is our player as well. Utilise them. They're my thoughts. Would love to know your thoughts of that in the comments below. Don't forget as well, leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you are new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you all again religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.